Average is an interesting concept. A lot of guys kind of think, well, I'm just kind of average guy, except I was okay with average until I heard it described this way. Average, yes. Best of the worst, worst of the best. And all I can think of is worst is in both of those, and worst is ugly. Look, my opinion is this. There is no other reason. Now, someone said this, I'll go back a little bit. The only reason I was told once to give a speech was to help change the world. And I've kind of taken that to an advisor and said, put it in a couple of ways. One is this. There is, the only reason to be an advisor is to help change the world for somebody at the worst possible time. You may not be able to change the world, but you can change the world for somebody on one horrible, awful, terrible day. And you'll be the world to them on that particular date. So I think, so the idea then is not average. By the way, if you want to be iconic in the industry, if you want to be a top of the table producer, then, you need coaching, you need help. But if you want to just be average, no help is required. You can be average, just sit there. It's perfect. By the way, here's the problem with average too. Average is so awful in this country, and in all countries, to be honest. I give a quick example. CLHIA in Canada did a study a number of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, comparing the production of producers, of life insurance advisors, rather, from 1990 to 2012. And they did a study, and it's kind of a gross study in the sense that big numbers, how many total life sales divided by total contracts in the country. So that's not really accurate, but it's kind of a neat thing, and it's interesting because both sides were equal, so the comparison does work. And here's the point. In 1990, the average number of life sales per advisor, the average, so go to your question, what's average like? But in 1990, the average number of life sales per advisor was 22.5, average. Now, go through those next, what I'm talking here, 22 years, and all the technological improvements, all the stuff we've done, everybody's a CFP now, all that stuff. Brighter now, we're much smarter, which means we're helping better. So after all of that 22.5, where did it go? It went all the way up to, yes, 7.2. That's what happened. So the average number of life sales per advisor at 2012, according to CLHIA, is 7.2. I heard a study recently from Munich Re in Montreal when I was visiting that apparently it's lower than that. Now, this is below the level of somebody. Somebody would have to actually, I guess, you're waiting for someone to break into your office, twist your arm, and force you to sell them some insurance. That's kind of the level. I mean, 7 in a year? So that's what average means. That's why 7.2 is the best of the worst, the worst of the best. There is no world, I don't think there's a lot easier ways to make a living in this business, in business, make a living, period, than to make 7 or 10 or 12 or 22.5 cases in this business. So average, not interested. Average requires no effort, no help, no nothing. That's why it's average. That's what you do when you do very little. It's sad, but it's the wrong thing to aim at. You need to aim at, I say, you aim at icon so that if you miss, you can still be great.